Well, hello there. It is Saturday afternoon, October 25th, T plus 206, journal number 206. I came across something that's really got my head spinning. Um, Normally, I probably save this for the beginning of the week, but I know it's going to drive me nuts all weekend unless I start talking about it and at least um, having it touch base or hold hands with all the neurons in my head. It's a concept that I haven't come across before. Not exactly, not exactly the way it's been explained. And you'll have to excuse me because I took 4 pages of notes and started tracking other articles on the subject because I found it so interesting. The concept is called Agile Learning. And I mean, that conjures up all kinds of images, doesn't it? At least I thought so. But it started out, the article that I read, the first article that I read, started out by suggesting that agile learners are more interested in learning from doing something than they are from learning about how to do it. And the difference may seem subtle, but it isn't. Not really. One is probably indicative or more indicative of flexibility, right? And curiosity, while the other is more indicative of rigidity and expertise. Uh, Perhaps it's the difference between knowing and doing. Maybe that's as simple as it can be broken down. Um, but there are a whole series of behaviors that you can associate with agile learning, and it makes sense when you really think about it. Um, just to give you a couple, and I apologize for reading, but I don't want to leave any out. Um, Agile learners are likely to set more challenging goals, demand more from themselves than normal or everyday kinds of learners or people that don't or are not interested in learning at all. And God knows there are too many of them. But they're going to take more risks. Agile learners are likely to take more risks, and they're likely to ask better questions. They're more likely to seek greater diversity. They're more likely to be um, more comfortable with the discomfort associated with interacting with different people and different cultures and what have you. And they read more books. You know, the statistics on reading are horrifying. They're terrifying. Um, a majority of Americans never pick a book up after they're done with either high school or college to just read for the pure joy, pleasure of reading. Uh, Agile learners read more books and they experiment with technology. They're not they're they're not likely to be frightened away by new technology. Uh, and I thought all of those were really fascinating. I mean, you can probably think of a whole lot more associated with people that you already know that you can identify as agile learners, or if you identify yourself as an agile learner. And you got to ask yourself one simple question, and that is, if you don't identify yourself as a norm as um, an agile learner, then why not? Why aren't you? What are you what are you looking at? Uh, how do you describe yourself if you don't describe yourself as an agile learner? Um, Now, one of the other articles that I saw was really interesting. It said there are three strategies that differentiate agile learners from everybody else. Three strategies that they all tend to have in common. Um, Agile learners are more likely to look back. Um, they're more likely to learn from their own experience. They're more likely to analyze things that they've done and then try and break them down to see what they can learn about the situations and about themselves. And that's an important step. Um, they take the time to reflect on what's happened, what they've done, uh, and so they can explore it and take that deep dive into whatever the experience was. Agile learners are more likely to do a Friday review or a Saturday review or a Sunday review or a review on any day that you choose. Time is a human constraint anyway, so you can break it up any way you want, really. But they're more likely to pick a day and sit down and review the week and everything that happened. And that makes a lot of sense, actually. It's a post-mortem on what happened, what went right, what didn't go right, what could have been different, what can you do differently. They tend to be very introspective about things like that. Um, Agile learners, by the way, you don't have to wait for a specific day, as I said before. You can do that at any time. Um, Agile learners look around. They're always curious about things that are going on around them. They people watch. They watch situations. They try and see what they can learn from it. They try and see how it'll help them learn and grow and help their situation improve. If there's anything there that'll help them move more quickly or more closely to their goals and objectives. So they're more awake, they're more aware, they're more tuned into their environment and everything that's going around them. They focus on what's working, what's not working, and where they see the holes. And agile learners are certainly, based upon all of that, more likely to look ahead, look into the future. Um, they take time out at the beginning to think about where they might be going in the future. I guess it's similar to what Covey said when he said, start with the beginning in mind, start with the end in mind, rather. Um, so you have a clear picture of where it is you want to go and what you want to do and how you want to get there. And you're more likely to anticipate what's coming if you do that, if you do that honestly. Um, what are we going to find in the future, in that future that's new, that's different, that's going to be challenging? Um, and where are those challenges going to be? Where are they for me? Where are they for others? Where are they for the world in general? Um, this one I found really uh, interesting, and it's a suggestion. It's a suggestion to look around corners, hidden corners. And God knows you find enough of those in life on your own. You don't. But realistically, wouldn't it be great if you could train yourself to anticipate bends in the road as they come up and sort of look around that corner and see what's coming before you get blindsided by it? You know, you go back to that old saying about the light, at the end of the tunnel, beware, it could be a train, an oncoming train. So that's important. So it's important to think about this. I think this concept of being an agile learner is critical. I think it's really important. Um, I think it's what separates people within our society or within our culture, within our species, um, to a large degree when it comes to success. And I don't necessarily just mean financial success. I know plenty of people that are challenged financially, but they're extremely sensitive, very much aware and awake, very worldly, and very knowledgeable. And certainly folks that we can learn from. So I guess the challenge is to become an agile learner. I'll probably be thinking and writing and speaking about this more as we go along because it fascinates me. I know I'm going to be writing a column for the magazine about it. So, in all the things that we just talked about, where do you fit in? Are you an agile learner? Would you like to be? Do you see the benefit? I'm always interested in what you have to say. So, um, feel free to drop me a line. Let me know. In the meantime, stay well and take care.